am Dana Tombrello. For my book report, I did The Ethical Slut by Josie Easton and Janet Hardy, who are ethical sluts in themselves. Janet Hardy is a author and owns her own publishing company that specializes in sexual adventurous books. And Josie Easton is a family and marriage counselor who also specializes in open relationships. Both of them have been practicing this slut lifestyle for an extremely long time now, and though they don't do specific research in this field, living this lifestyle and meeting people who are also in this lifestyle have helped them make this polygamy open relationship book called The Ethical Slut. They first published this book in 1997, and the second edition of the book came out in 2009. And it's just a guide of how to be this ethical slut, how to live your life in an open relationship or without monogamy, and be successful at it. To me, this book was extremely interesting. The most interesting part of it was how there are so many different types of slut in this world. Slut is not a bad word in this book whatsoever. It is a totally good word. You want to be a slut, but you have to be an ethical slut. They talk about celibacy and how you can even be a celibate slut, how you can live your life being with people, but not actually being sexually active with them. Just keeping to yourself and learning how to be romantic or build friendships with so many different types of people and keeping this group in itself. They go through the friendships and how that's a relationship in itself, whether or not you are having sex with them. Those are a different type of relationship that you have to consider when you're being a slut, when you're in open relationships, because it's not that their opinion matters of you. If they're your friend, they love you no matter what, but you have to know that some people won't like you for your relationships, and that you have to be honest with your friends about the relationships you are having. They go through having sex as just a friend, and how can you have sex when you're not in love, but you love your friends, and sex shouldn't always complicate things. They do acknowledge that sometimes it does complicate things, but you know what you're getting into, and you don't want sex to ever ruin that friendship for you. They also go through living single, and even though you live on your own, maybe you don't have a primary partner, but you have multiple partners, and how to be ethical in that in its own way, how you kind of need to introduce your partners, how you need to be honest that they aren't your primary partner, and if they get mad at you, you have to also accept that. Just because you haven't chosen a monogamy lifestyle or a monogamous lifestyle, some people have, and you have to respect that about them, just how they should respect that you don't live a monogamous lifestyle. And being honest with your lover or lovers, especially in the case of this book, will help you to prevent jealousy, not even just in between your individual relationships, but with you yourself. You don't want them to have another relationship without you knowing about it. And they also talk about the non-monogamy aspect of it, how so many people don't like this and so many people are so against this lifestyle, and you have to respect that and hope that they respect you. But there are also so many people that do have this lifestyle, and they start to form circles and tribes, and just so many different relationships could cause so many different connections. Whether it's you have a child with a partner, or you just love the partner for their emotional support, or you love them physically, and how you have this circle of lovers and friends, and you have to balance that lifestyle. You can't always make your primary partner your primary love and affection. You have to kind of pencil in your other lovers. You can't let one lover dictate your entire life, because that, if you wanted to do that, you would be in a monogamous relationship. And they go through the acts and the balance, checks and balances kind of this type of relationship. And to me, it was all so interesting. I've never really thought about it until actually taking this class, how people are I mean, I've heard of swingers, but you don't understand that lifestyle. And it wasn't until we read an article that I was like, wow, people, like, it's not unusual to have fantasies outside of the relationship you're in. And though you have dedicated your life to one person, say like through marriage or living together legally or whatnot, doesn't mean that you lack other needs in other aspects of your life. And I think for me, it was yes, you can pick a partner, and maybe you love them and you love them sexually, but you have this other fantasy somewhere else, and you can work out a type of relationship within your primary relationship. Like, hey, you know what? Like, why don't we try swinging? Why don't we do this? And it's not that it doesn't work. It's just it works with the correct people. And I think this book really goes to explain that it's not trying to convince you to be a slut. I mean, of course not. Like, they couldn't tell you how to live your life at all. But they want you to respect the ethical slut lifestyle, to make sure you're not going around in your life cheating on your partner because you have this sexual fantasy with someone else. And I think that is amazing to me, that you can find a lifestyle that fits your own. If you want to be monogamous for the rest of your life, like, that's awesome, great for you. But Easton and Hardy give you a really good way to look at your life and look deep down in what you want in your own self to determine whether that is actually what you really want. And relating to the class, I don't think this was a guide of how to be this ethical slut and how to manage your open relationships, or at least be honest with yourself whether you can even handle an open relationship. And we've seen that open relationships could work. I mean, they work primarily in homosexual couples, as a lot of research has shown. But in the ethical side, it's a lot of heterosexual couples, in circles and tribes who live together and have these bonds that go together, and they will not always be together. I mean, sometimes relationships don't work out, but they really, how do I say, they make it so you don't always have to feel bad about these other intentions. And that's what I think a lot of people get caught up, is that a lot of people feel bad that they don't want to always be monogamous, or that they feel they have to sneak around. And our class didn't really touch on that a whole lot. We went over it, just how swinging and like gender identity is a little bit different, but to really learn more about how there's so many different types of relationships, and whether you be friends or having sex with someone who is your friend, or being completely in love, or having different types of love, is a huge possibility for a lot of people, and that you can make it work. And it's not a bad thing, even if you've grown up thinking it always has been. I absolutely love this book. I would recommend it to everyone. My sister and my best friend have already told me not to throw it away or sell it back, because I loved it, so they automatically think that they're gonna love it. I think it's really opened my eyes as to even what kind of different relationships that I want in my life, or just to be open about with a future partner, what I actually want. And that you can't settle in your life. If you don't believe in monogamy, it won't always work that way. Or people that you like or love won't always work that way. And that it really has to be open not only with yourself, but with your partners. And that's about it. Thank you for an awesome semester, and I hope you have a good fall semester. Bye.